I live in the middle of nowhere, and this is the scariest thing that has happened to me. I am 15F, but back when this happened I was around 12. I have always been curious. I lived in the middle of nowhere in a big red and blue house. I never had much friends and I was very antisocial because I had undiagnosed autism at the time, although it was normal for me and my siblings to go outside and take walks. We lived next to a girl who went to my school. I barely knew her. Let's call her Ava. Ava also had a sister, and we will call her Chris. Ava and Chris were outside the same time as me and my siblings. So naturally, my siblings would hang out with them and I would tag along, even though I didn't talk much. One day, we all decided to play games together. Now, for this story, you have to understand the layout of where we were playing. We were not far from the house and we lived under a hill, so if you left the area, you would have to go on a hill. Near the end of the hill, there was a small building fenced off and an electrical box owned by the government, I would assume. Mind you, nobody is ever here. Across from the building was a river, and to the left of the river there was pure woods. There was also very huge rocks leading to the woods. I think they were boulders, but man, I don't fucking know. As a kid, they seemed way bigger than they were. Anyways, we started off with playing Duck Duck Goose. All was normal till we all decided to play hide and seek. Now mind you, there was a lot of kids. So my brother, 8 years old, was the seeker. Me and Ava were together while my siblings and her sisters were also divided in pairs. My brother begins counting and me and Ava are looking for a place to hide. We see one of the giant rocks and decide to hide in front of it because it was so huge my brother wasn't able to see us from the front. We sat on the ground chuckling, hearing my little brother find everyone. Eventually, we were the last hiders left. We hear my brother a bit farther away from us, so we assume it's pretty safe and we won't get found. We wait there for about 5 minutes till we see it, something I will never forget. What passed by us looked devilish. It looked mangled up and had patches of skin taken from its fur. It had sharp teeth and gray-brown colored hair. It had cuts all over its body. It was walking on all fours and turned to look at us. Everything after is a blur. The thing ran away, and I grabbed Ava's hand and ran. I asked her if she saw it too, and she was equally as afraid as me. We told my siblings and the rest of the kids and ran the fuck out of there. I don't live there anymore because I live with my dad, but whenever I come over we pass that spot. I get the same memories, hoping it won't come after me again. Now that I'm old, I am going to assume it was a mangled up wolf or coyote, but it looked way too huge to be a coyote. I don't even know. I'm fucking baffled by this and I refuse to go near her in the woods anymore. Before we get into the next story, please subscribe, it really helps me grow. Why am I killing my friends? There was only one good thing about snow. Traipsing through drifts up to my knees, I dropped onto my stomach, fingers already trigger happy. Snow was the perfect hiding place. Trees were unreliable when hiding was on everyone's mind. My first kill was a girl in a tree, Maybeth. I sat behind her in trigonometry. She used to lend me her calculator. Snow was why I found her. Why I pointed my sniper rifle at her head and blew her brains out, beads of dripping red splattering pristine white. The warm glow of the cabin against the pitch-black sky was cruel, but I had adapted to the cold. I was used to numb. Rolling onto my front, I spied 3 of my classmates standing watch in the doorway, Emmett and Boyce. Boyce was my first kiss. He smelled like burger sauce and coffee. "I'm cold," he mumbled to Emmett. "You're always cold," Emmett snapped back. I shot Boyce, then Emmett. I watched a river of slow-moving red seep into freshly fallen snow. It hit me while I was reloading and checking for ammo. I lost my breath, choking on wisps of white, the world suddenly violently jerking. I dropped to my knees, my chest ached. Why was I killing my friends? "Don't fucking move," Jude Gar sighed, pointing a rifle directly between my brows. "Oh, I killed his boyfriend." "Turn around, Posey." I did, dropping my weapon. "Do you trust me?" Jude's voice shuddered. My response turned into a screech when he plunged a knife into the back of my neck. I waited to die, but instead, a voice. A thermonuclear war has just broken out. You are our last hope. Kill to be the last one standing. I repeat. It's a loop, Jude whispered, holding up a tiny chip between his fingers, slick with my blood. He stepped forward, trembling. We've been through this so many fucking times, and you keep forgetting. He stuck the barrel of his gun between my eyes and blew my brains out before I could reply. Darkness. I woke up face down in the snow, back where I started. Maybeth was in her tree. Number, this wasn't fucking happening. This wasn't real. With trembling hands, I dragged my pocket knife across my throat. I woke up face down, blinking up at the pitch-dark sky. I ran into the cabin screaming and was immediately shot. I woke up to Jude looming over me this time. His fingers were trembling on the trigger, taking down 2 classmates who ambushed us. He took a shaky step back. I'm not shooting you, he whispered. I'm not fucking shooting you. Game over. Hissing, I dropped my controller. They're doing it again, I muttered. On screen, my avatar was trying to slit her throat with her fingernails. They're refusing to play, Jude scoffed, chewing pizza next to me. Well, yeah, duh. He grinned, slamming X. Jude's character dropped to his knees, shaking, the gun slipping from his hands. They're us?